Faria, are you all right?
Do, is that you?
Lord Dohalim, what are you doing here?
Lord?
That's enough.
Do, be careful!
You would go so far as to disguise yourself as the very people you hate.
So you know. I'd expect no less from the great Lord Dohalim.
The abductors are Renans?
They slipped away with Faria and defeated Avakir when he gave pursuit, though those two are not warriors. Overcoming them would be no easy task for a Danan. They were attempting to frame Danans for the crime. My guess is they were trying to make me hate Danans as they do.
Precisely. But that's only because you won't do your damn job as our lord. Ever since we lost Lenicus, we've been living like prisoners. Yet you only preach reconciliation, neglecting your duty as our guardian.
How could you be so selfish?
I am still a guardian of the Renans, but that does not mean continuing our rule.
It's just our luck you'd come back on the very day we execute our plan. We may have failed, but there are others who see you as weak. You had better watch your back.
Do.
You succeeded at one thing. Your intent was to anger me. However, the focus of my anger is you. Any that harm my friends will be punished.
Dohalim, don't! If you give in to your anger, you will be no better than our enemies. Please, stand down.
You're right. His fate must not be decided by personal feelings. We will deliver him to Pelegion to face due process. Thank you, Kisara. You prevented me from making a grave mistake.
That's my job, after all. The criminals have been turned over to the authorities.
Thank you, Kisara. That should be the end of the ordeal.
After all that, I just caused more trouble for you.
I'm glad the two of you are safe. That's all I can ask for.
Still, I have a feeling there's more trouble to come. There are still plenty of Renans and Danans who are unhappy with the way things are. I'll have to come up with other ways to keep things under control.
I'm counting on you. That reminds me, Avakir. I only learned of the kidnapping because Lentigar was concerned for your safety. You should learn to rely more on those around you.
Yes, you're right. I'll be sure to thank him.
We should let Ganya know the problem's been resolved, too. Let's go, Kisara.
Do,
Yes?
thank you. And take care of yourself.
I appreciate the sentiment.
I think it's safe to rest here now.
The culprits were Renans disguised as Danans?
Their intent was to turn Dohalim against the Danan people.
As a Renan, I apologize. Danans were being framed.
Ganya, please know Dohalim would never.
You're quite the conscientious one, aren't you? You could have kept quiet about the truth, and none would have been the wiser. And that's despite the fact that you were the target of this plot.
I believe telling you was a necessity.
I agree. In fact, I feel the urge to let my fellow Danans know just how honorable you are.
Ganya,
I hope this relationship continues, takes root, and endures long after we are gone.
On my name, Dohalim Ilkaris. I vow to do all that I can to that end.
are you thinking about your friend, Faria?
I've ended up putting her through another ordeal. Avakir as well. They've been made to suffer just for knowing me. And it's likely this will not be the last time either.
It's not your fault. Your position means Danans and Renans alike are going to look at you with their own individual prejudices. One side expecting the best, while the other assumes the worst. Much like what Alphen has experienced.
I understand. No. Understanding is not enough. I should have expected something like this to happen. Whether it was to a friend of mine or someone else, it was my responsibility. And it's my fault for not being prepared. I'm going to instruct them to reinforce security. Of course, we'll have to do so carefully so as not to incite the old guard. Did you think I would blame myself more?
No. You're no longer your old self.
I don't plan on going back. Besides, the situation wasn't all bad either. Avakir had a colleague who cared about him and was willing to step forward. The situation is changing, slowly but surely. If things continue this way, it may someday lead to that utopia you spoke of. One where all people are treated equal. Though, I do not know how old I'll be by the time I see such a world.
No matter the age, you won't be seeing it alone.
That's true.